Hello and welcome everyone to the Tech Sharmit Podcast. Today I'm here with another special guest, Juan Manuel Alcudia. Juan is currently serving as a CEO of CD Invest Solutions. Apart from this, he is also recognized as a well known IBM champion and Common Euro president. In this episode, we will talk about his professional experiences as well as his contributions to IBMI community. But before we start, I would like to thank Juan for joining us in this episode. And now I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us something about yourself.
Well, I've been working with the platform forever, like I said, and I think one of the advantages I have is that I've been in end customers, I've been in business partners, and I've been on IBM, serving also as a lab services. So I think I have a very good view of the platform from the different points of view. Because sometimes if you only know the things from a point of view, you don't have the whole history to tell. So I think is one of the advantages I have in my career.
Yes, like after doing research about you, like we got to know that you have explored all type of aspects related to IBMI platform. So it's an opportunity for all of us to hear your thoughts about the system. So let's start with your journey itself. Like you can share like how you started your working with IBM Lab Services, and then how you switch to this your current role as a CD Invest Solutions. So could you please tell a bit about that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I started my career in two end customers, working as a student, learning a lot from my bosses that I had there, and then I moved to a business partner. I was there for 10 years,
Okay.
and when I switched to IBM, funny thing is that I didn't went straight to the hardware part, but I moved to the software services. So I was working mainly with WebSphere Portal and also IBM connections. But then I moved to Lab Services of Power, and uh, in a common conference, I met Kunde Kort, that is the owner of CD Invest, because he started the company in Belgium, and we decided to create another company in Spain because I really love the kind of solutions he does for customers, and I wanted to be part of that journey. And it was a kind of difficult because I had like a solid career at IBM, and doing this was a little risky. But I'm so happy for that movement because I think I helped a lot to grow the company, and also we now work with bigger customers in Spain that we used to work in Belgium. So I think the 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 career has been exciting from the beginning to the to now.
Yes, yes. Okay. Okay. And if we talk more about IBMI, so what are some of your favorite aspects of IBMI platform? Particularly, maybe you can comparison. We can do a comparison with modern technologies like Kubernetes. So, how you think, and what are your favorite aspects of IBMI platform?
Well, I think the beauty of the platform is that it's so business oriented.
Okay.
So because I sometimes I work with companies that hire me as a consultant to move out of the IBMI, and when they design the new applications, they try to be so technical. Sometimes they over architect things a bit just to be so cool with the all the new technologies, all the new and what my experience on companies designing solutions for IBMI is that they are so business oriented. So the point is what I can do for the company to grow their business, not to implement certain technology. I think that is the main difference in the projects I see in one thing and in one place and another.
Okay. Okay. And like nowadays there is some myths around the IT industry that IBM is about to die or it is going to end. It's the end of IBM. So could you please break out these myths for all of us? Like, no, it is not going somewhere, and there are many users who are still using it.
Yeah. There are many users using the platform. In fact, in our company, we do especially the opposite. We try to bring new customers to IBMI. We are moving customers from SAP or um, Microsoft ERP to IBMI custom solutions because sometimes and we just gave them the applications they need. But to do that, of course, you need to do it with nice fronts, and you
Yes.
you don't do it with a green screen for the
Yes.
end user because that way is not the way to do it.
Yes. So we can say that it is improving day by day, and we have to adopt all those modern technology. And if we are
Yeah,
equipped with modern technology, then no, it is not impacting anyone's job, and still it is in market, and there are many users who are utilizing it, and many
yeah,
even business are depend on this technology.
yeah. It's really true. And in fact, we have been working in some customers that they wanted us to change their applications to connect with SAP because they were moving things to SAP, but in the middle of the project, they realized that for production, the application we were doing was better than SAP. So then they decreased SAP and grow more on
Yes.
IBMI. So it's sometimes it's the point is you need to give the business what they need, and then they will stay in the platform.
Yes, and even in fact, like if we talk about security things, then it is more secure as compared to other thing, and it is faster as well. Like it comes with a DB2, so all those functionality somewhere making it uh, up, like it keeps us this platform apart from other things, right? So yeah, still there are like many capabilities which IBMI platform has that others technology is not providing in a that simpler way. And
Yeah,
what
and
I
it's simple. Yeah,
yes.
it's simpler to maintain, and you can maintain the platform with less people than
Yes.
others.
Yeah. And what I believe, like simplicity and out of the box nature of IBMI is the key strength for this particular technology. So could you please elaborate like how these characteristics make it unique in today's complex IT landscape?
Yeah. Like I said, it is simpler to maintain, and also it's sometimes simpler to deploy because you know I see a lot of projects saying that we have all these complex DevOps to deploy the applications, and sometimes the all that they need is so difficult to maintain, and if there is a little error, they are in big trouble. I always put the example of a customer of mine that they can deploy a new warehouse, a full warehouse in just minutes, just copying a few libraries into a new LPAR.
Mhm.
So sometimes the simple is better because it's you just sometimes copy a few libraries and you have a really ready to production environment just to go live. So I think that is so important for the business because, as I said, this is business oriented, and
Yes.
uh, yeah. So if you keep the all the technical part easy, it's better just to focus on what is really important for the business.
Yes. And Juan, like if we talk about more about this technology, that we all know that SEO is outdated now, but some
Yeah.
users still rely on the system 36 environment. So how do these legacy tools impact the acquisition of new talent and adoption of modern development practice? Because if we talk about the freshers as well, like if someone new just after graduation, if someone join this platform and if they see SEO, so they are not too much interested in this technology. So what do you think on
Yeah.
this?
Well, first of all, we employ very lot of young people,
Mhm.
and they they like the platform because they don't see all the stuff.
Okay.
But I think the main problem is the old users that don't want to move of the
Yes.
old technology. And sometimes the problem is not that they don't want to use the new things, is that they don't allow the new people to use the new
New things.
functions. And that is, I think that is the worst. Because if you don't want to use it, at least leave
Others
the
to.
young ones to use them.
Yes.
Because I saw that in many customers that they say we are not allowed to use SQL, you know. So that is mainly stupid because then you are using the machine like 30 years ago, and then you are not using the new things that you are paying for, because IBM is putting a lot of money on bringing you new features that can make your applications uh, useful for the business. But if you don't use it, is then the people that are against the platform um, have more reasons to tell that the platform is bad, you know. So I
Yes.
think is important just to move, and at least to leave the new ones to use the new functionalities, because the new functionalities are great.
Yes. Yeah, in fact, like those who are on at the senior position, the leaders, they should encourage their team to adopt the new things, adopt the modern technology, because they are at the position, like they can encourage many people, and accordingly, like everyone will start adopting those new technology, and then they will feel, yes, the things are better now as compared to the previous versions.
Yeah,
So yeah, this is the one way like through which we can acquisite a more modern and talented people from this for this particular domain and platform. And there are like what I believe, like there are many users who still hesitate to adopt, as you mentioned, like ILE, SQL indexes. So what underlying reasons for this resistance, and how like we can encourage a shift toward more modern practice? Like one we just discussed, like leadership can take a initiative
yeah,
to promote the new things. So what all other things
yeah.
you believe, like which can help us to um, change the working style with the IBM platform? Like instead of using old technique, we should move to the new one.
Yeah. Well, first of all, is that most of the developers that don't want to use new things are close to retirement,
Okay.
and it's important just to bring the new generation. We will not bring the new generation with all the old stuff.
Mhm.
Second of all, is that some of the programs that use really old techniques are so hard to understand for the new developers.
Yes.
You know, all the things with cycle, with sorts, and some 36 code. You know,
Yes.
the problem is that there are a few people that really understand how it works. So what will happen if the old guys leave before we are modernizing
Mhm.
that? The problem will be that it will be as difficult to modernize that than to leave
Yes.
the platform and to go to a new one. So at
Yes.
the end, probably people will leave the platform because nobody will understand
Correct.
um, what the program used to do. So I think it's important just to get rid at least of the more old techniques to be able to maintain the the platform, and also to avoid risks to the business, because if
Mhm.
something happened in a really old programs and nobody knows how it works,
Yes.
then you are in big trouble.
Yeah, this is a major concern, like because if everyone is working on old technology, and if the modern team, they are not aware of that particular code or the piece of code, then in any kind of halt, like there is a major issue, right? Because they don't know actually
Yeah,
like what is happening there in the old previous code, but they know the modern thing. So it's better to by the time, like move the things from older version to new version and modern version, so that if something happens, they know like how to deal with the situations in a better way.
yeah,
Yes. Okay. All right. Now I would like to talk bit about the proposal that you have proposed for IBMI system. So you proposed two parallel versions for the IBMI. One is the legacy and one is the slim. So could you please do share more information about this with our audience? Like what was it all about?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we need to clarify that this was my idea and has nothing to do with IBM because
Okay.
that is important to say. Well, my idea is to keep one version like a long-term release
Hmm.
that will support all the old things, like the people that are using now, even if it's not supported, the System 36 environment, SAU, RLU, all these things, and to have a new version that will be more simple, uh, and of course will be if we have a simpler version, that will mean that IBM will have to spend less time testing on
Hmm.
the old things when they are developing new things. So the developing of new features of the platform will be faster because you don't have to test all the old things.
All things.
Also, if there are some customers that has made their homework, and even new customers that don't use the old things from the platform, they can get rid of things that are mainly because it's not only about modernizing the applications, it's about all things sometimes are insecure. Like I always tell customers that are running System 36 environment, if you
Mhm.
run the System 36 environment, you are insecure by default because anybody that can run anything on the System 36 environment can take a control of your machine.
Yes.
Sometimes I demonstrate this to the customers, just changing the password for QSecoffer, because if I am allowed to run a CL of System 36
Mhm.
or a script of System 36, I can just do whatever I want because there is no security. So
Yes.
it's not only about being modern or not being modern, it's about security. And I guess, I don't know that because I didn't see the code, but I think the System 36 is really integrated right
Mhm.
now in the core of the operating system. So I don't think that will be easy to to make to implement my idea, but it was
Okay.
just an idea.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, and like if we plan to implement such thing, let's say we have that authority to implement such things in our IT industry. So, what challenges do you foresee in implementing these two the two parallel versions of IBMI, and how can
Well,
be these challenges be addressed?
yeah, I think that the main problem will be that probably IBM will not want to put a lot of money to do that,
Okay.
because that will be a real investment, and they probably don't think that it will like be enough new customers to 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 make that investment. And sometimes to change from the status quo to a new world is always a challenge, and it can be good, it can be bad. It depends. But I think it will be interesting to make able to grow the platform to a new kind of users. Also, how we can implement this? Well, at least IBM has made baby steps,
Hmm.
because they are starting to remove old products from the IBMI. So I think at least they are working on somehow implementing my idea,
Okay.
because they are removing all the stuff that a few people were using, and every time they release a new version, they have to test everything. If they remove a set of things, then they will have more time to implement new solutions instead of testing the old ones.
Old
So
ones.
I think at least they are making baby steps to make it possible. So at the end, my idea will be probably not implemented, but we have a more clean operating system right now.
Okay. All right. So initiation has been took, and like they are working step by step in order to implement the few
Yeah,
things in a better way. Okay.
yeah.
All right. And Juan, as the IBM champion and a common Euro president, what are your hopes for the future of IBMI and particularly about this community? And how do you see
Well,
this platform evolving to meet the modern businesses?
yeah. Well, we as Common Europe has been growing in the last year. So in the last years, so I'm so proud of that because the community is strong, and also I see a lot of collaboration between Common Europe, Common North America, the large user group. We are doing things to grow even more the community, like the efforts Common Europe, Common North America is doing in India, and
Yes.
also they are start doing things now for the Spanish speaking market that is huge because we have all South America, Central America, and also Spain. But we are creating content for the Spanish speaking people. So I think in terms of the community, the health is so good. And also in terms of the platform, I think the more and more companies are just starting to think that they need to modernize their applications,
Yes.
and some of them obviously will probably leave the platform, but some of them are realizing that keeping the business in the platform will be probably more secure and more cheap because moving away from the platform is a process that sometimes you need to spend a lot of money, and sometimes the problem is that what you get is not what you expected because
Yes.
the things that we must know is that sometimes the applications are maybe ugly because they don't have like a really nice front end or so, but they are so stable and they do what they need to do for the business. So I think the future we will have IBMI for a few years more at least.
Okay. All right. Okay. And like you have grown with this platform, IBMI platform. So can you share a personal story or maybe the experience that highlight your journey as well as your commitment to this particular community?
Well, I always say that the platform has been in all my career because, as I said, when I entered IBM,
Mhm.
I was not related to IBMI anymore.
Okay.
So I was working in the software group, but every time something happened on IBMI or they need to do like a hard software facing projects, uh, everybody was always calling me. So, I've been or with the platform or parallel to the platform all my career. So at the end, I decided to move back to IBM joining Lab Services, and that movement I think it was always also important for me because I had the opportunity to work with some of the best, like Morten Rasmussen, because I used to work in the performance team that we were like extended team from Rochester working in Europe, and working with people like Morten was so important for me because I learned a lot from the one of the best guys in the IBMI industry. Also to be part of the community, also to be part of Common Europe and relaunching Common Iberia in Spain because Common disappeared, made me meet a lot of people like Kunde Port, like I said, that we started the company together,
Yes.
but also a lot of people from Common North America and experts from all Europe and even United States. and other parts of the world. So I think that that part of the community makes my journey with the platform uh, so much better, because the community is something unique to this platform.
Yes. Okay. Okay. And one, like, suppose if someone is about to start their career with IBM platform in 2024, so what all other technology would you like to suggest? Because they have started working with IBM, so what all correlated technology they can start learning that maybe later in future can be helpful for them to incorporate it with IBM platform?
Yeah, well, today I think it's so important to learn Python. And in terms of IBMI, I see two things.
Mhm.
First of all, if you know Python, to learn modern RPG is so easy,
Yes.
because I use some Python developers to write RPG programs, and they learn in 2 weeks, because it's so easy to switch from one to the other.
Yes.
And second is because it's the language for AI. So if you want to play with AI, just talking with your business applications, learning Python is so important, because it will give you a really good tool to grow your career in the future. Also, I think today is important also to understand how cloud works and how
Yes.
cloud applications are designed, because that way you can talk to other parts of the company that are not on the IBMI with their same language. I think part of my advantage of architecting solutions on IBMI is that I know also the other part
Yes.
of the technology, is thanks to my because I was in one part of my career out of the IBMI, so I learned other things, and I think that gives you the advantage to create even better applications inside the
Yes.
IBMI if you know how the others work, because you will be able to create good solutions to communicate to the rest of the applications in the company.
Okay. Yeah, these are some best advice. I think if someone who are just about to start their career with IBM, they can uh, incorporate these technologies as well, like Python, and they should know about the cloud. So yeah, this is something that
Yeah,
for sure it would be helpful for them. So
yeah. Also, even JavaScript to be able to create a nice front ends, because that is
yes,
also important.
yes. Yeah. Okay, so Juan, like, there are many things that we can discuss in this podcast, but I would like to ask my last question, which is related to your hobbies, like how you spend your time in a in your free time, like how you enjoy your time.
Well, um, I love archery.
Okay.
You know, I just before the interview, I was watching the final of the Olympics,
Okay.
that it was decided by one arrow between one guy from Korea and one guy from United States. And yeah, I really love archery. I don't do Olympic archery. I shoot with a longbow with a arrow with wooden arrows. But
Okay.
I love archery in really, really, really much. It's a really, really nice hobby, and it is so good to relax after one day full of problems and challenge in the technology industry, in the IT industry. So it is my way to relax from the work.
From the work. So you are maintaining proper work-life balance with this archery. So that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So thank you so much, Juan, for joining us in this episode and for sharing all these information related to IPMI platform. So we are thankful, and I hope you also enjoyed this podcast.
Okay, thank you so much to you for inviting me.
Thank you.